morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning I have the pleasure of introducing the president of the Northwest
Illinois Alliance
Board of Realtors. And it's not. What is the name of it? Here, wait a minute. I wrote it down.
Northwest Illinois Alliance of Realtors.
And why did you get to introduce yourself, and then tell us how you got to be that fancy name?
So my name is Natalie Mulhall, and I live in Belvedere, and I am with Dickerson and Neiman Realtors in Loves Park, Rockford area. So we used to be Rockford area Realtors, but because of a couple of mergers, we expanded our geographic territory. So now we really take up a lot of the northwest corner of the state, right up there from Rockford all the way, down to Galena and everything. So we did a little name change to better suit the rest of our membership, our newfound membership. So Northwest Illinois Alliance of Realtors it is.
That's a mouthful. That's almost
It
as
is.
mouthful.
It is.
It's almost as big a
It
mouthful
is.
as North Shore-Barrington Association of Realtors.
It's a little bit, it's still Sears Tower to me, and a lot of people do still say RAR. So,
Okay.
or just Rockford.
Rockford.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rockford's okay. We know
So,
who we are.
How many members do you have now?
We have about 1,100.
So you're getting to be a pretty good size out
We
there
are.
now.
We are.
And you were just telling me you bought a new building.
We did. We bought the former Upper Iowa campus in Rockford, and it's right off of 90, and it gives us a lot of room to teach classes and hold education. We have a boardroom. We have a great office space for our staff and CEO, and it's a great building at a really great location.
All right. The interesting thing that I heard you say, and I'm going to tell you how I ended up inviting you.
Yes.
I got invited to your installation, and that's a big deal. And for those of you who don't know, in the realtor world or in the association world, this is a big thing that happens at a certain time of the year. One of my friends who is on one of the boards said he's been to 11 installations in the space of like a month and a half.
Sure.
So it's a big deal to go to.
It's a season, right?
It's a season. It's
like a
like
fall
everybody's doing, yes, they're debuting. So I happened to go to the Rockford Association of their installation. And one of the things that I discovered was that it was probably the most emotional of all the installations that I've been to. And the man who is their CEO was darling. He is just
Connor
darling.
Brown.
Connor Brown is darling. But all the people who spoke from their hearts at your association. They loved everyone. They were so happy about everyone who got applauded, who won an award, who did anything. And then you got up and won my heart, because all you did was thank people for doing this. But then you said a most interesting thing that I heard, that you've only been a realtor for what, 6 years?
6 years.
6 years. How on earth did you get to be the president of the association? No, more normally, people who are president of the association, they get to do this after they've been doing this 20 years. They've served on this committee and this board. This is a very rapid incline to be the president of the board. How'd that happen to you, Natalie?
Well, Deborah, you already actually answered the question. You talked about everybody that spoke before me and how touched you were by what
Yes.
they had to say too, and that it felt like these Rockford people come from the heart, and that's exactly it. It's those people that helped me get sitting in the seat at a relatively
I remember you talked about, I think it was Sue Miller. Mm-hmm. You talked about Sue Miller grabbing your hand. One of the things we've been talking about at some other meeting I was with, tapping people on the shoulder. They didn't tap you on the shoulder. They whacked you on the shoulder.
I think I got clobbered in D.C.
Yes.
The second year in real estate. Someone in like maybe March or so said, "Hey, you're going to D.C.?" And I said, "Why would I go to D.C.?" This was someone from my government affairs department. We were at a fundraiser, and he said, "Oh, we go there every year, talk to legislators." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I love D.C." Went home that night, said, "Hey, can I go to D.C.?" Like, I had no money. I wasn't like making anything yet. It was still had to be a conversation, for with my husband. So he's like, "Yeah, go for it," because I had to pay for it, right?
Right.
I wasn't in chairs or anything. I was a brand new realtor. So I went, and I got drank all the Blue Illinois Realtor Kool-Aid, and I loved it, and it was great, and everyone was so amazing and warm, and I really felt like they were all very genuine when they said, it's a pleasure to meet you, we're glad you're here, this is great, your second year, and here you are in DC, that's amazing. And Sue Miller took me around along with Ginger Shreenan, and also Neely Erickson gave me the hotel room to stay at, so I didn't have to pay for hotel. So they really helped make that trip possible. Not just showed me, I met everybody in leadership, and I didn't really even know what leadership was.
Okay.
Honestly, that's how new I was. I really, really was. And they were all just, kind of people like me, and I connected with some right away. And I won't forget, there's a ton of them that I see at all our business meetings that I met for the first time in DC, because I had never gone to a state meeting.
Oh.
I went to DC
Well,
before I went to a state meeting.
You started with the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so that's how you got involved with this.
Yes.
So what happened then when you came back? Was it a letdown when you came back?
No. So when I came back, Connor Brown was, he used to be our GAD, and he was our new CEO. And I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? He's like, government affairs. So I jumped on there, and I was a deer in headlights probably for the first, as you know, 6-8 months, sometimes a year.
Explain what government affairs was.
Government affairs is a group of committee members that keep an eye on legislation, along with our government affairs director, who is an Illinois Realtor staff person assigned to our associations, that keep an eye on legislation, that keep an eye on private property rights and our industry as a realtor.
And was more connected about the Rockford, it was particularly invested in the Rockford area or the
Yes,
state
both. We look at federal, we look at state and local. And Rockford is extremely involved in our local municipalities. We know what's going on. We have open conversations with them. We have great relationships with them. Connor does, Neely does. They've really nurtured those relationships. So it's very helpful. They listen to the realtors. They realize we are the voice for real estate in the Rockford region.
Is Rockford growing right now?
You know what? That's a really good question.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of curious about that. I know I have a niece that just got married and is living in Rockford. So I'm kind of curious about that. Is there a new building going on?
There is some new building. There is some, and there's some really kind of interesting things happening in Rockford. And I think they're always, promoting economic growth and smart growth. We have a casino coming. There's some activity. Okay. But it's a constant struggle, just like, probably
almost
most
everywhere.
Yeah, yes. It really is. It really is. And the same with Boone County. It's some things, some really great things come, and then there's, sometimes opportunities that you wish you could have gotten or held on to, and or things just aren't happening fast enough. But, you just keep trying, you keep an eye on everything, and, think about how we can help affect the change that we want to see.
Okay, so now you're on the Government Affairs Committee, then what?
Then, since I live in Boone County, and at that time, there was Boone County Realtors, or Belvedere Realtors, Board of Realtors, and I got asked to join the board there, and I said, absolutely not. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about that. They said, no, just do it. And I said, no, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. They convinced me. I joined it, and I was so tight-lipped and so nervous when I first joined that board. But then I kind of realized that I know some of these people sitting here. Some of them were, people at my office at that time. And slowly maybe not that slowly, like 3 months, I was probably arguing and crying at some point. I mean, it was like kind of baptism by fire, but I have found that I really don't like to say no when I am offered opportunities in this business, most importantly, to be a servant leader. I really like saying yes. I really do. And I don't have problems saying no to things I don't want to do. Yes, my kids. No, I'm not cooking dinner.
Because you have some.
No, I will not drive you there. I mean, really.
Because you have a bunch of them.
I do have a bunch of them.
How many kids do you have?
I have 5 boys.
And the youngest is?
18.
Okay. So you have a house full and they all still at home?
4 of them are at home. And then my husband, so.
Well, so you still have a house full.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about your regular business? Not the association business, but your
Sure.
regular business. Did one have an effect on the other?
It's really hard right now with the market. I am having a really hard go of it, but I am remaining active. So when I think about my role in the association, man, does that light a fire under my rear end to keep going and prospecting to make sure that I am set up for the future. Like I'm really looking forward and how I can keep growing my business. So it really helps me stay focused on what I need to do to make my own personal business better. And also, I think, in return, it also gives me all this extra education and opportunity, like I talked about. When I'm serving on committees, whether it be local, state, or national level, that is education for me. That is free experience and education into that I can bring back into my own business. That's like going to college for me. That's what I feel like. With the experience, the whole other part of it too, the connections and the relationships and meeting people, which also we know benefits your business for referrals. It's amazing.
Give me an example of what you're doing to build your business right now. What are you doing to prospect right now?
So right now, prospecting specifically, I am very proactive in it now, but that hasn't always been the case. When I ran for alderman.
But wait a minute. Wait. Let's back up a minute. So you also did some other things. Talk about running for alderman.
So a couple years after I was on government affairs, Neely and Connor had approached me and said, hey, what do you think about in 2 years running for alderman? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Go home, think about it.
Alderman where?
For the city of Belvedere.
Okay.
And about a little over 25,000 people.
Okay.
Home rule community. So I thought about it overnight and I said, sure, why not? They said, okay, just keep that in mind. Here's some things we want you to start doing now, but we have a year before we really have to do like active campaigning. So it was a 2-year preparation to even run. So that again, I went into it with the mindset of why not? Like, I wasn't saying, here's all the reasons, like there's really no reason why I shouldn't. If I don't win, how awesome will this experience be? And that's what happened. It did end in a tie in my primary.
What happens when you tie?
Well, it is up to, according to maybe the Illinois State Board of Elections, it is up to the circuit clerk at that time, the judge of elections, to choose a means of like maybe fair chance or something like that. I don't know exactly what the statute says, but she decided to flip a coin, and it was a special coin for the 100th anniversary of Daughters of the American Revolution. So 2 sides. This was for the primary. I had an opponent who was the alderman at the time. He was the incumbent, a friend of mine. Friend before, friend.
Yeah.
Have been out, to dinner with him and groups of friends, great guy in the community again. Anyway, flipped the coin, I won. And then I did have an opponent in the general election as well.
It was a good experience?
It was awesome.
Okay.
It was a little scary, but I never lost sleep over it. But it was, I didn't really know what I was doing. I had to go knock on people's doors and talk to them about running. That was super scary. I didn't feel like I was qualified when Connor and Neely, I said, I don't know enough about government or the city of Belvedere. What I did is I started going to meetings. So I went to meetings for 2 years before I ran.
Okay.
But yeah, I just did my homework. I treat everything like whatever I'm going into, just do your homework, be as prepared as you can, and you will learn along the way.
Okay. So back to prospecting. So what are you doing? I interrupted your story about prospecting. So go back to prospecting now for a minute. What are you doing for prospecting right this minute?
Right this minute, I just sent out some really cool postcards that I made with kind of a Halloween theme on it. It says just listed, and we have, I picked one of our listings, and I am just hitting that neighborhood, asking them if maybe they know someone that would love to be their neighbor. So I sent out a bunch of postcards. I think people, it'll catch their eye because it's purple. It doesn't, it's not like, a green lawn and a house. It's a little It's a little cute, little like haunted house. It's super cute. Anyway,
I'm just going to say, I noticed that you have really interesting Halloween skull earrings on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see them.
Aren't they
on
pretty,
screen.
though?
They are beautiful. They are lovely and beautiful. And I also know, I'm just going to notice here, because I asked you if I could do this. I
Yeah.
noticed that you're not in your tweed suit.
no.
You are a little more on the unusual looking than the normal looking. Helped you or hurt you in real estate?
I don't know what people say about my behind my back, but it's really none of my business. But if I know about it, of course, it would hurt my feelings. But I think overall, has totally helped.
Why?
People don't tend to forget me a
Well,
little bit.
I would think that's probably true.
I mean, listen, I really love when I see someone interesting, and even if it's not my personal style or taste, I love seeing self-expression come through people. And not everyone shows it with what they wear all the time, but that conversation, you'll hear it in what they say or something else, some other way. This is my way of, I want someone to come up to me and say, that's interesting, or hey, your hair is purple. I do.
Hey, your hair is
I
purple.
want
I
someone
love
to come
that.
start a conversation with me.
Okay.
And I cannot tell you how many times I'm at grocery stores or restaurants or other places that people might ask me specifically about my pins. It is a great,
Business is okay, you're saying. What's business in your marketplace happen? What's happening in the marketplace?
so this marketplace, our marketplace has just seen, month over month increase in sales price. We've just keep breaking the record, for the highest rolling average.
What's going on in your?
So if we talk about our territory, you want to hear some listing numbers?
Yeah, let's hear some listing numbers.
So in our area, which is 6 counties.
Okay.
If you take out land and everything, I am just recalling this number specifically because we just talked about it at our sales meeting on Wednesday morning. We still have a sales meeting every single week and a tour. Anyway, right under 200, like 198 listings
Okay,
of just houses and condos
okay.
in 6 counties.
Are your sales going down while your prices are going up?
No.
You're unusual here, because in most of Illinois, that's what's happening.
Well, I do see a slowdown.
Okay.
But still listen, there's still a lot more buyers than there are listings out by us. Rockford is one of the most affordable areas in the country.
And you have some absolutely
we really do.
spectacular houses
We
out
really
there.
do.
Yeah,
we
it's
really
kind of like
do.
a little secret
It really is.
gem out that way. Yes. Because like I said, I've been driving to my nieces, and I've been kind of going through.
We have the missing middle a little bit too, just like a lot of
Yeah.
communities. But there's some really
some lovely areas there.
there really is.
You have a big river there too, which
Yeah, we have the Rock River and the Kishwaukee
and the
River
Kishwaukee
going.
River too.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great area, with parks and all the
You
stuff
have a
to
big
do. A lot of
riverfront. You have a big riverfront. I mean, a big
yes, we do.
recreational area along
Yeah,
your riverfront.
yeah, great restaurants on there,
Yeah.
and it's really it's great. I mean, Rockford's it's a fun area. Belvedere, all the communities, they all have something. Poplar Grove, we have the pumpkin patch and the apple orchard, and there's a lot to do in our area, and I like it. It's quiet, but we're still super accessible to, out here, like.
Oh, it only took you 20 minutes to get here. I know. That's, yeah. It only takes. I know, because I come from.
But
Crystal
still,
Lake.
it's worth it.
Well,
It's worth
you
it
come,
for something.
You can come for a while.
You have the option.
Because you have 90 there. You have accessibility is what you have. Yes.
Yeah.
In some ways easier than Crystal Lake.
But the
quite honestly.
affordability to live in Rockford
Yes.
as opposed to out. I've lived out here. I've lived in Palatine and Schaumburg. I know,
The difference. Yes.
Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine
Yes.
doing that when we first bought a house.
All right. So where do you see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years, I'll be coming off the executive board. The market is going to really rebound, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have tons of listings, and I'm going to be super busy with clients, and I'm going to, just like I'm doing now, nurturing my clients. Like that is, I'm spending so much time on that, because what else do we have if we don't have our clients and our clients to give us referrals? So I am really, like
That's
I
what
said,
you're working-
prospecting. I'm texting people. I'm making phone calls. I am dropping off candy bags. Oh, I have some in my car. I'm focusing on nurturing. So business is going to be great, and I'll be coming off the executive board at Northwest Realtors. But that's going to be a great time for me to kind of dive back into Boone County, because I'm not. I'm on the committee, on the council for Boone County. That's one of our chapter. So I can maybe focus there. I think I'll have plenty of opportunities to stay, being a servant leader. There's always committees and different, groups and organizations.
Do you see yourself moving up into Illinois Realtor committees and stuff?
Oh, I am on Illinois Realtor committees.
Okay.
And
What
a
committees
national
are-
committee.
what
So I am the chairperson for government affairs, local government affairs, one of the special committees.
Okay.
I am on Realtors political involvement, and I am on the leadership development working group this year, which I am so excited about because I did leadership. And
Did
my
you do
favorite thing
leadership
ever.
this last year? Or the year
The
before?
year before.
I'm trying to think who we had in leadership the year before. Chris Stevens, maybe? The year before? I'm trying to think who we would have sent for leadership.
I was in it with Joel.
With well, all right, then how could you, then
Yes.
one of my
I was in
favorite,
Joel's, yes.
one of my favorite human beings.
Mine as well.
Yes.
He better say the same about me.
I'm sure I don't think I've ever heard
He's so
Joel
sweet.
say
No.
something bad about anybody.
He is a ray of sunshine.
He is a ray of sunshine, yes. One
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite humans. He calls me up and says, I heard something about you today. That's what he'll call me and tell me. I heard something
That
nice
sounds
about
like
you
Joel.
today. It
Yes.
does, doesn't it?
Yes.
I heard something nice about you today. Okay, tell me, because it's a bad day and I wouldn't mind hearing something nice. So yeah, he does that for me all the time. So yes, he would have been on leadership there. So you're seeing some of our best and brightest with
Yes,
Joel.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I love that program so much. It gave me so much more confidence going into, they talk about imposter syndrome, and it is real. Leadership development, it is so real. Leadership development really kind of helped me cut through that. But yeah,
Anyway, all right, we're about a half an hour in. That's about all people will listen to anybody anymore.
yeah.
So what else do you want to tell us about yourself? All right, now let's go back. 5 years. What do you see yourself? That was 2 years. Where do you see
Okay.
yourself in 5?
I
I have a feeling money is not critical to you.
oh my gosh.
I mean, money's always good for everybody, but I don't think that's the overwhelming reason you're doing this.
Oh wow. 100%. I find it very money. Okay, so money does not motivate me, but
Money's
does
good. It's good.
It does motivate me because I also realize I can buy experiences, but I think I would work harder if someone said, "Hey, I will give you an expense-paid trip if you get this listing." Or, "Hey, I will give you $5,000 if you get this listing." I'm like, I want that trip, but then I'll ask for first class and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
course.
kidding. But I don't know. You know what? I think it is honestly. I, along with my family, we're used to sacrifice. 5 boys on 1 income. I got married when I was 21.
Right.
Kids right away. I remember when my husband first made like $30,000 or $40,000 and I was not working and we had little boys, we thought we were like, yes, we could get a new car. We're going to get a Volkswagen Jetta. Like seriously, so excited.
Yes.
It's amazing what you can learn to live without. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I know what it's like not to have a lot of money. I mean, really, not with little kids and 1 income, not a lot, but
But that's not the overarching reason.
No. So I'm used to that. So I don't know what it is. I'm trying to, that is actually a constant struggle for me. I wish money did motivate me more because I have a hard time finding that something that really, 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 in a way, like I like pain. I like the pain of maybe not having, like, or sacrificing, right? But I don't like the pain as much when a client, this happened this week, I sent a little video message that I made for my sphere, just saying, hey, the market is really great right now. If you want to know what your house is worth, I'd love to help you. Less than 30 seconds, but someone I knew asked me to remove them from marketing. And I send a text to these people or something like that similar, a message through the phone, through their phone, maybe 4 times a year. I don't care if I know someone that sells something that I have zero interest in. Like I'm anti that product. Don't want anything to do with it. Maybe one of my other friends says, "Hey, do you know someone that sells or does this or has this?" I would never. I really wouldn't.
This is going to bother you.
Ask them.
This is
It
going to
does.
bother you.
It's the
for-
second time it's happened. The first time I had a knee-jerk reaction and I deleted the person from my contacts. Okay, this is real truth. This is.
I know. This
But
is,
I did. I was so hurt. So
Yes.
I stopped my prospecting that day at that time, and I did not go back to that yet. But
You're going to have to.
actually, I'm going to do some after our interview. I'm just going to send out those texts. I'm going to send out 10 of them and just, okay, you're fine, whatever, it happens, because someone might say, you know what, I do want to know what my
I do
house
want
is
to know
worth.
what my house is worth. Yes.
I'm going to give Natalie a call. Honestly, maybe someone's
Those
thinking about
no's
it.
are brutal. Now, the best
Yeah.
realtors I know count how many no's they get. So I'm going to tell you how to do
Oh.
this. They count how many no's they get, and they know how many no's they have to get a yes. So they just look at that no as say they have to get, let's be ridiculous, 100 no's to get a yes. They just say,
What's
all right.
a yes, though?
Well, yes is they call you.
They
That's
talk
it.
to you.
They talk to you.
Communicate back?
They communicate back.
Yeah.
So I have to get 10 no's to get one person to call me back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Then all that was one step closer to.
Sure.
They don't let it come in their bubble.
It is worth the conversations that come out of it.
Well,
Even if they're far and few between, to make a connection with someone, even if it is just, oh, hey, I've been thinking about you.
well,
you know.
and I also will say some people are even nervier than I am, and they will call and say, "I see you deleted me. Did I do something to offend you?" Which I think is like soul crunching, hurting. But they will actually do that and call and say, "Did I do something to offend you?" Come in here.
Oh, Joel.
Yeah, come in here. All right, so we're just gonna have to, Joel, you'll
Hi,
have to come and
Joel.
join us a minute. Your name came up in this video that we're doing.
I gotta do a couple other things.
I know, so you
You
only
can-
just need to
you
come
can
in and
just
say
come
hello to
hi,
us.
right?
I
You
can
just-
come by and say.
You just need to come and say hello, hello.
Hello,
You,
hi.
you know Natalie, so
I
how
love
do-
Natalie.
I know you love Natalie.
I saw you were speaking today in
Yeah.
the afternoon, which was like weird.
I know, we're weird people.
It's for the nighttime people.
Oh, okay, well,
All right.
whatever.
All right, Joel, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go do what you need to be doing, but we just wanted to say hello.
Yes.
And have you say
I'm
hello.
sorry.
Yes, you did come up in conversation.
We were talking about you, yes.
Leadership development.
So now you'll have to watch the video.
I will watch the video.
I know you will. All right, have a good day, Joel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye. Bye, Adam. Hello.
This is a perfect example of how connections are made. You're 100 miles from your house right now, and yet you've got somebody that just came in and hugged you because you know them from this. This is what the power of volunteering is. And on that note, we're going to end. Thank you so much for joining us. You just saw the power of volunteering in action. Thanks so much for joining us today. The views and opinions expressed by this presenter are theirs. They may not reflect the views of North Shore-Barrington Association of Realtors.